Andres has been our artistic leader during some hard times like Hurricane Harvey and a little thing called the COVID pandemic. But he's also been behind some wonderful moments like the European tour of 2018 and some other unforgettable artistically triumphant moments here at Jones Hall. So I want to welcome the Symphony's Executive Director and CEO, John Mangum, to come say a few words about Andres and his leadership over the last 9 years.
Great. Thank you, John, so much. And thank you so much for joining us today, Mayor Turner. It's a real honor to have you here with us. You know, I think it's a testament to the impression that Andres has made on the city of Houston that we've got all of you here with us today to help celebrate him. By the end of his tenure as music director, he will have been a part of 25 hires for the orchestra, maybe more if we can find a few violas next month. 87 guest artist debuts, 17 performances with the Houston Symphony Chorus, and Betsy Cook-Weber is with us today. 10 world premieres, including one this weekend, and 6 commercial recordings for Pentatone that share the Houston Symphony's music with audiences around the world. Andres has represented Houston, as John mentioned, on tour with the orchestra as we traveled and performed in the most esteemed venues in the European music capitals in March of 2018. He also fostered educational relationships and performing relationships between musicians of the Houston Symphony and young musicians from his native Colombia through exchanges between the two countries, including the performances by the FJC, the Colombian Youth Orchestra, in 2015. More than these accomplishments, I think for me, Andres has an incredible ability to connect with people. And where I first got this impression was actually when the search process was going on. Before I was even hired, they snuck me into the balcony at Jones Hall to kind of secretly hear a concert. The orchestra was playing Ives' Third Symphony with Andres conducting. And this is, for those of you that don't know it, kind of a tricky piece of music for audiences to find their way into. And Andres had come up with a lovely idea, which was having a quartet of singers lead the audience in a sing-along of some of these now, in some cases, forgotten New England Protestant hymn tunes that Ives wove through the symphony. And, you know, all of a sudden, the switch was flipped. And from being kind of a forbidding, inaccessible piece of music, everybody was invited in. And throughout his tenure, I think that's been really the magic of Andres as music director. Everybody is invited into what the Houston Symphony does. And Andres, I just can't thank you enough for doing that and for making so many people feel so welcome and so connected with the music that our symphony here in Houston makes, whether it's here in Jones Hall, out in the community, or really around the world. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to welcome Mayor Turner to make a few remarks, and then we'll share today's special proclamation and we'll unveil the latest star on our Houston Symphony Walk of Fame. Mayor Sylvester Turner, everyone.
John and John, let me thank you, and look, and let me say good afternoon to everybody. And it gives me great pleasure to be at Jones Hall for the Performing Arts, the performance home of the Houston Symphony. Certainly want to acknowledge David Minsberg, chair of Houston First. Please give it up to David Minsberg. And of course, I have to acknowledge Laney. Laney, good to see you this afternoon. Look, today we're celebrating and saying, well, I'm not going to say farewell because we're still going to see him every now and then. So I'm not going to say farewell. But to celebrate one of the finest conductors, the music director, Andres, for over a century, the Houston Symphony has been a source of pride for all Houstonians. Countless musicians and conductors have serenaded the city and our hearts to the good times as well as some bad times. For nearly 9 years, Andres led the Houston Symphony with energy, elegance, and spirit. And through his tenure, he oversaw, as John has said, the recruitment and hiring of 25 orchestra musicians, welcomed 87 great artists, led 17 performances with the Houston Symphony Chorus, and conducted the 10 world premieres. Alongside the musicians of the Houston Symphony, Andres represented our great city on tour throughout the most esteemed venues for classical music performance in major European cities. I'll never forget the lunch that we had together, where we talked about this city, talked about your family, and talked about what more we need to do for Jones Hall. And let me tell you, he's a remarkable salesperson. He also fostered educational relationships between musicians of the Houston Symphony and young musicians from his native Colombia through exchanges between the two countries. Andres also led and persevered amidst great tribulation. And during the pandemic, the Houston Symphony kept on playing virtually to countless of hearts across the globe and even in front of small audiences. And like his predecessors, Andres triumphed with a crescendo of love for music by conducting and playing with an ease that enthralls the spirit. On behalf of the city of Houston, I would like to commend Andrés Orozco-Estrada for his enduring impact on the Houston Symphony, both as a curator of international talent and as an enthusiastic cultivator of and partner to the musicians. Andres, today, on behalf of 2.3 million Houstonians and so many more who live in the region, I would like to present this proclamation to you. I'm not going to read it in full, but in part it says, from his first step onto the Jones Hall's podium of the Houston Symphony in October of 2012, to his final performance as music director for nearly 9 years later, in April of 2022, Andrés Orozco-Estrada has brought to Houston his genuine love and inspiring passion for music. And he holds everyone, including himself, to the highest standard while inviting other collaboration and creativity. On March 17, 2022, in recognition of his artistic influence on the Houston Symphony and the city of Houston, Andrés Orozco-Estrada will be bestowed a commemorative plaque at Jones Hall for the performing arts, the performance home of the Houston Symphony. The city of Houston commends Andrés Orozco-Estrada for his enduring impact on the orchestra, both as a curator of international talent and as an enthusiastic cultivator of and partner to the musicians of the Houston Symphony, and extends best wishes on all of his future endeavors. So therefore I, Sylvester Turner, Mayor, City of Houston, hereby proudly proclaim this day, March 17, 2022, as Andrés Orozco-Estrada Day in the city of Houston, and well deserved. So this will be forever your day. But in addition to that, because you have been so special, not just to the Houston Symphony, but what you have done here has radiated throughout the city of Houston and this region. And I know you're going to be coming back from time to time. And so that you won't have any problems getting into any of the buildings right here at the city of Houston, I'm going to present you this key to the city of Houston, so that when you come back, just just put it in the lock, and the door should just pop right on open. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Okay, so now it's my turn to say something. First of all, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for this great honor. I'm not that good in reading speeches. I will try to do my best. I usually, in rehearsals, I prepare my music or the score, and I just say what the music needs to be said. And to put feelings in this way is not so natural for me, but I will try my best. So if I say something that doesn't make any sense, please forgive me. I try to put the best efforts, and you need to know I'm very moved, I'm very touched, so I will try to do my best. If I start crying, please just forgive me as well. So, I first want to thank all of you, especially you, Mayor Turner, for coming today and for honoring me with this star at Jones Hall. I mean, I believe it's a star. I haven't seen, but I believe it's a star. There is another star, so let's see. This is not on the script. This is my own joke. So anyway, I would also like to thank you, John Magnum and John Riedman, for their kind words. And of course, I also want to thank all the musicians being here. Although I told them not to come, they should go home and practice, but they prefer to come here. So thank you for being here and sharing with me this special moment. It has been 10 years since I first performed in Houston, and over these years, this city remains a special place for me, professionally and personally. It is an honor. It's too noisy. It is an honor to forever be part of the legacy of the Houston Symphony. Following past extraordinary music directors like Stokowski, Barbirolli, Privan, Eschenbach, and just to name of a few of them. People have asked me many times what I will miss the most. I'm sorry. I try one more time. People have asked me many times what I will miss the most when I leave Houston, and the most honest answer I can give is the people. Those of you who have supported me, you have changed my life, and only for the better. I'm sorry. I'm not going to make it. This is way too emotional for me. So I will read the end, which is the only part I really put in words. Is that I hope I will be back. I hope I will be sharing the success of this orchestra in the next years. And of course, I need to be here one more time at least to make sure that the star is still here. So thank you very much. I apologize. If you want, I can email you the speech. You can read it. But I hope you understand. It's just emotion and being grateful, thankful, moved, and that's life. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Make some pictures and send it to me. My mom has today birthday, so she wished she could be here, so this is the best person I can give to her. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, thank you. This is it. This is it? Okay.
Why don't you go to the side?
Okay.
John, why don't you come up here?
A picture? Yeah, excellent.
For Mom.
For my mom, yes. With the tears? It's okay. The tears are good. Good? Very good.
Great.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And now?
I think
John's going to say farewell to everybody.
Yes, please go ahead. Thank you so much.
We'd like to thank all of you for coming out to help us honor this great conductor and music director that we've got, and to spend a little time here to see the new star. So we appreciate your being here to make a little bit more history for the Houston Symphony. So if you will, you can join us for some celebratory drinks and cookies or whatever in the back, and have a good time, but thanks for being here. And thank you, Mayor, for being here as well.
I wish I could